Greetings, fellow YouTubians. A question I was asked recently is, who are the Nephilim? And I'd like to try to illustrate where I think the evidence leads. The first thing we need to go back to is Genesis 6:4. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterwards, when the sons of God went into the daughters of humans, who bore children to them. These were the heroes that were of old, warriors of renown. The word Nephilim comes from the Hebrew word Nephal, which is most often translated as fall, falls, or fell. So it really means fallen ones. And I think we can get an idea of how the fallen ones came to be if we look at the rest of Genesis 6:4, also in the Hebrew, where it talks about the sons of Elohim, God, went into the daughters of Adam. Interesting, huh? That means man or mankind, who bore children to them. So these were the heroes that were of old, warriors of renown. Now, the word that's translated as heroes is Gibborim, and that means mighty. Now, the short definition given in this Strong's Hebrew Dictionary is champion. Another instance where the word for mighty is used is Isaiah 9:6. Which says, "For a child has been born for us, a son given to us. Authority rests upon his shoulders, and he is named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." So, seems pretty important. The other instance that I talked about in the previous video was Numbers 13:33. There we saw the Nephilim, the Anakites come from the Nephilim, and to ourselves we seemed like grasshoppers, and so we seemed to them. The Hebrew word Anak means neck. Coincidence? There's a couple other instances in the book of Deuteronomy which refer to the Anakim. The first one is in Deuteronomy 2:10 and 11 and 20 through 21. The Emim, a large and numerous people, as tall as the Anakim, had formerly inhabited it. Like the Anakim, they are usually reckoned as Rephaim, though the Moabites call them Emim. And then 20 through 21. It is usually reckoned as a land of Rephaim. Rephaim formerly inhabited it, though the Ammonites call them Zamzumim, a strong and numerous people, as tall as the Anakim. But the Lord destroyed them from before the Ammonites so that they could dispossess them and settle in their place. Another reference is in Deuteronomy 3:11. Now only King Og of Bashan was left of the remnant of the Rephaim. In fact, his bed, an iron bed, can still be seen in Rabbah of the Ammonites. By the common cubit, it is 9 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. So I think it's pretty clear that we're talking about giants of some kind. Giants that seem to have been the offspring of sons of Elohim and daughters of Adam. So there's some kind of hybrid. So, since that's the case, and from Noah's flood that talked about, every living creature and all of mankind being destroyed, where did the Nephilim in Numbers come from? One explanation I was given is that the events in Genesis 6 happened all over again. That's not that satisfactory an answer. because a plain reading of Genesis 6 seems like the existence of the Nephilim were one of the reasons why the flood happened in the first place. God wanted these Nephilim exterminated, and he allowed them to spring up again. And also, the events in Genesis 6 aren't mentioned again. It seems to me that trying to say the events of Genesis 6 happened again to explain the re-emergence of the Nephilim is a retcon. Now, the term retcon is short for retroactive continuity. I think it was originally coined in reference to Star Trek, but being a fan of the X-Files, I'm very familiar with the term. What retroactive continuity refers to, at least how I knew it in the X-Files, was that everything within the established X-Files canon, meaning everything that was on screen, couldn't contradict. And because of that, events in later seasons of the show, which appeared to contradict earlier versions of events, that there would be excuses given by fans to try to make the two seem to mesh together. And in fact, in later seasons of the show, during episodes of the show, writers would put together alternate versions of events which happened in previous seasons of the show, but hadn't been on screen before. So it's like they were revising their own history. And I think that revising the history given to us in the previous books of the Pentateuch in order to accommodate the re-emergence of the Nephilim is a retcon. Think about if this kind of thing happened in any other book. Wouldn't you see it in that way? Be honest.